Hello, welcome to the 2020 general session. I encourage you all to rename yourself with your name in your chapter, just so as people are looking through the participant list, if they want that information, they know where to find you, what chapter you're in. And I'm going to get started with today's general session. Now, I know we have a lot of folks here who have been to chapter training. You've seen our general sessions before. We also have a number of people here who are brand new to our BNI family and are wondering what the heck a general session is. So allow me to introduce this concept. A general session is one topic that helps all of us focus on one thing together. Okay. All of us are attending different breakouts, where some of us are visitor hosts, some of us are vice presidents, some of us are education coordinators. This general session gets all of us thinking about the same thing at the same time. And so there's a lot of power in that when we all put our minds to the same thing at the same time. A general session is also, it provides perspective, a viewpoint, which when considered and when the viewpoint is used, it's going to create a huge level up for you in your term, the 2020-2021 term. And with that said, this general session is also intended to give you direction. It dispenses guidance on where to focus your actions in the coming year. So every year we pick a different topic. Last year we talked about core values and how important it is to recognize what gets you out of bed doing what you do, what motivates you. You know, BNI's got core values, but what are yours? And that if we all recognized our core values, our own individuals, we'd be that much more powerful. Sometime before that, we did a general session on it takes a village to run a BNI chapter, and that if we really want to find success, we all need to be in this together, not one person sitting on the sidelines or 5 people sitting on the sidelines. When everybody accomplishes their role, we can do a lot. And even farther back than that, maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago, we did a breakout session on culture. And I use this quote from Ivan, that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And as much as you strategize in your business, it ain't going to work if there isn't a good culture behind it. And as much as you strategize and plan in your membership or in your chapter, it's not going to work if you don't have a healthy culture. Culture is paramount to success in your business, in your family, in your BNI membership. So allow me to introduce this year's general session topic. I have a few quotes. The first is from William Shakespeare. Expectation is the root of all heartbreak. This next quote is from Parthasarma. It says, positive expectations are the mark of a superior personality. Walking around life expecting everything to go well. And this last one is from Umong Soni, and it says, expect more from yourself than from others. Because expectations from others hurt a lot, while expectations from yourself inspire a lot. You're probably picking up on a trend. This year's general session is about managing expectations. And my hope is that by focusing you all on this general topic, you'll all take it back to your membership and you'll all have a leg up for your next term. Now, this topic was introduced to me years ago at a BNI conference. I've been to a lot of BNI conferences. This one in particular, maybe in 2014 or 15, they did a video called This is Water. And what somebody did is they made a video to a commencement speech by David Foster Wallace. If you haven't seen this video, it's about 9 minutes long, and I cannot stress enough how much it might just change your life as much as it changed mine. I'm actually putting the link for the YouTube video in the chat. I encourage you to open it up and watch it after today's training is done. This video single-handedly changed my life. It talks about our natural default setting. And our natural default setting is the certainty that things should be the way we expect them to be. I've got a 20-minute drive this afternoon. It should take 20 minutes. And when it takes 25, I'm now frustrated. because my natural default setting is the certainty that things should be the way that we expect them to be. What this video encourages you to recognize is that you don't have to be upset, that we can change our natural default settings. Now, if I were to give you a diagram of what your natural default settings look like, it would look something like this. I expect A to B, but then reality kicks in and it looks nothing like what I thought it was going to be. And this shows up in many different ways. Think about the training that you attended this morning or yesterday, or the training you're going to attend this afternoon. You already walk into these trainings with expectations. If you're brand new to BNI, your expectations are built around the chapter that encouraged you to attend today. You either think, because your chapter's like chapter training's amazing, you came into this with positive expectations. Some of you have been told by your peers or have had negative experiences in the past. So you came into training today thinking this is a waste of time, I have a ton of work to do, and so your expectation is very negative. What reality happens in both those situations is very different. This also shows up in our work schedule and our workload. What you think you're going to get done this week compared to what you actually do get done this week. It might be a lot more than you thought. It might be a lot less than you thought. Expectation versus reality. Expectations also rear their ugly heads in your budget. Here's what I thought I would spend this month in my personal or my professional life versus what I actually had for expenses. And the funny thing about expectations is they even show up. We even insert them onto strangers, like in the grocery line. As we watch the man in front of us check out, we think he should act a certain way, he should go a certain speed. We think the clerk should act a certain way and move a certain speed and say certain things. And when they don't, sometimes we're very frustrated. And all because what we thought they should do compared to what they actually did. The thing about expectations is that because we don't manage them, we become slaves to them. We measure our life and its experiences based on how we think things should go. And because we don't manage our expectations, we are cursed with frustration and anger and overwhelm. All because we thought that ride should have taken 20 minutes and it took 25, and now we're frustrated, angry, or overwhelmed because a ride that took 25 minutes took 25. Mismanaged expectations have a huge impact on our BNI family and the experiences we have in our BNI membership. Sometimes mismanaged expectations in our membership turns to disappointment around our weekly meetings. Our members are late, and so we're angry at them. Our president doesn't run a very good PowerPoint, so we're frustrated with them. So many things that we think should go a certain way and they don't, and so we're frustrated. So maybe we stop communicating. Maybe we get angry at the lack of referrals or the recognition that we think we deserve. And sometimes because we don't manage our expectations, we walk away from, quite honestly, life-changing relationships because we would not redirect those expectations. I'm not saying all this to bum you out. I'm saying it to set a stage because I want to give you solutions. It is possible to redirect your expectations. So let me give you a few tools, and it'll be your choice to pick them up and use them. The first tool, choice. Choose to observe yourself. And in that observance, gauge how your expectations are wreaking havoc or giving you joy. Because every time you get angry, every time you get frustrated, and every time you get overwhelmed, it's because something didn't meet your expectations. The next time that person cuts you off driving, or the next time your housemate, spouse, significant other says something at the wrong time and you bite their head off, it's not because something's wrong. It's because you thought something was supposed to go a certain way and it didn't. So choose to watch yourself and choose to gauge how your expectations are hurting you and giving you joy. If you decide to start watching yourself, the next step is inevitably to take action. It's not just watching yourself, but taking steps to change the way you think and react in every situation. So the next time you're in the grocery store line, stop expecting the clerk to act a certain way. Stop expecting somebody to move faster so you can get through it. Instead, feel your feet in your shoes. Choose to feel differently about your expectations so that your expectations set you up for joy instead of, why isn't the world meeting what I expect it to do? Don't just observe, change, evolve. My third tool is personally my favorite, and it's get curious. Get curious. Think about this. I am coming up on a decade running BNI Vermont. I am contractually obligated to attend a conference of BNI every year. This November, I'm going to be attending my 16th BNI conference. Now, when I went to my first few conferences, I was curious because I was new. After 16 conferences and working with you all for the last decade, I know a lot of things. And what started happening when I went to conferences is I started getting frustrated because the conferences, I had to go. They were taking me away from BNI Vermont and all the projects and things that I've got going for you all. I just didn't think I could get anything out of it. And I realized after a couple conferences that I was angry and frustrated and I was miserable. And so what I decided to do a few conferences ago is get curious. I don't know everything. And I may have been to 1,000,000 conferences and I will go to 1,000,000 more. And if I go curious, I enjoy it more. I pay attention. The opportunities abound. This may be your 10th chapter team training. There is still something in this for you. Get curious. It's a huge solution to managing expectations. My next tool is a little touchy-feely, but it might be the most important tool in the toolbox. Surrender. I don't mean this kind of surrender. I don't mean give up, stop having goals, stop having dreams. That is not what I mean at all. I'm talking about this kind of surrender. The kind of surrender that lets you take a deep breath. The kind of surrender that lets you go with the flow. The kind of surrender that lets you be a human being with all of your faults and all of the lessons you still have to learn. Mismanaged expectations have a lot to do with you wanting things to go in a certain pattern, a certain way. But when you surrender to the journey that you're on, which is the next breath you're going to take and the next footstep you're going to put in front of you and the next client you're going to meet and the next BNI meeting and who's going to be there and what are they going to say and what opportunities are there. When you surrender to the choices and the experiences life is giving you, you will have so much joy in your life. And not just in your BNI membership. Now, I do want to say about surrender, I still have goals and dreams. Even though I'm surrendering and going with the flow of life, I still want every chapter at 30 members. I still want every chapter at $5 million a year. I still want 40 chapters in the state. But I don't get angry when I don't launch a new chapter. I don't get angry when you guys don't pass $5 million in 12 months. I surrender to my dreams and the direction and the choices that I make. And I keep putting more dreams and choices, but I don't get angry when things don't go the way I think they should. I just get curious. And I want the same for you. I've got one more tool for you. And this is a tool for those of you who want to dig deeper beyond my little pep talk here. And that is a book. This is a book by Don Miguel Ruiz. I'm not sure I'm saying his name right. And it's a book called The 4 Agreements. If you're ready to choose and take action and get curious and surrender, the 4 agreements that this author writes about will help you in that journey. And what he talks about in this book is the concept of being impeccable with your word, and that anything you utter is truth, which means removing words like always and never from your vocabulary, because nothing is always and nothing is never. It also means when you say, I will be your event coordinator to your chapter, you do it because you are impeccable with your word. It also means when you tell a client, I will return your email by 2 o'clock today, that you will do it because you are impeccable with your word. And the beautiful thing about this topic is you will never make a promise that you can't keep. You just won't do it because you're impeccable with your word. And the second concept he has is don't take anything personally. When a client, angry or happy, when a BNI member, angry or happy, says something to you, you listen to the truth in it. Even if something is said to you with anger, you'll still listen to the truth behind it and not take things personally. And remember, most of what people say to you anyway has nothing to do with you. When somebody tells me I'm an amazing opera singer, they're not really talking to me. I have impacted them positively, and they're telling me about their positive experience. They're not telling me to make me feel better. They're telling me because they needed to tell somebody that they thought I was a beautiful opera singer. And it can go the same way. When I've had members absolutely lose their cool on me and tell me I'm the worst thing that's ever happened to BNI Vermont, and it's happened. I've had BNI members tell me that. I don't take it personally. I recognize that people have things going on in their life, and I'm the leader, so I'm the one who has to take it sometimes. It's just what happens. Don't take it personally. Hear the truth and make a choice to grow with it. The third on this page is don't make assumptions, which, to be very vulnerable, this single agreement saved my marriage many years ago. When I woke up to the realization that I was assuming my husband should be this, do this, say this, which is not a healthy friendship, is not a healthy client relationship, and as sure as hell is not a healthy marriage. When I stopped making my husband meet all of my assumptions, I found my best friend again, and love and joy. I'm not saying that this is your solution as well, but that's how this particular agreement changed my life. And the fourth one, always do your best. What I love about this is that your best changes from day to day. And that your best tomorrow is maybe better or worse than today, depending on what life throws at you. I mean, I've got a cat curled up on my desk here who does not have much longer to live, 20 years old. When she leaves my life, you folks are not going to get much out of me in the next 24 hours. I probably won't be taking phone calls and emails because I'll have lost a loved one. Recognize that doing your best changes, and allow other people to change as well. Give them the freedom to be a human. What I want from today's general session is I don't want you to just meet expectations. I want you to be able to exceed expectations. Have dreams, have goals. Rock the mentor role in your chapter. Rock the secretary treasurer role. Blow it out of the water and see what it does for your chapter, your business, and your life. But don't hold your expectations so high that you constantly endeavor frustration, anger, and overwhelm. I want you all to have a ton of fun in your 2021 term. I want you to have joy, and I want you to make so much money that you don't stinking know what to do with it. Managing your expectations is going to play an awfully large role in that. So that's your general session topic for today, folks. I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes touching on some important topics or insights that you may not realize for your incoming term. And then at 12:45, I'm going to put you back into breakout rooms for 15 minutes of networking, because I want you to have an opportunity to meet some people you haven't met before. And then at 1 o'clock, for those of you at breakout who have training sessions this afternoon at 1, we'll see you there, President, Vice President, Secretary. So what do you